Welcome back to my John Muir Way adventure. This is part 4, taking me from Kilsyth to Falkirk, around 13 miles and should roughly take about 4 hours of walking. Today's section leaves the Campsie backdrop behind and follows the Forth Clyde Canal, one of the most peaceful stretches of the entire route. It's flat, fast and perfect for settling into a rhythm as the landscape slowly opens up. Along the way, the path weaves through quiet woodland, wide canal views and hints of Scotland's industrial past. And as the miles tick by, the star of the show begins to appear on the horizon, the iconic Falkirk Wheel, a modern engineering marvel and the perfect reward at the end of the day. So lace up, settle in and join me for part 4 of the John Muir Way, a calm, scenic cruise from Kilsyth to Falkirk. The John Muir Way is a 134-mile trail that carries you coast to coast across central Scotland, following the spirit of John Muir, the man who inspired so much of modern conservation. It links Helensburgh to Dunbar, moving through lochs, canals, woodlands and old industrial towns, always giving you the quiet moments to look around and really notice where you are. It's not a hard trail, it's a thoughtful one, a line across Scotland that invites you to slow down, breathe a bit deeper and just enjoy the journey. Up on top of Croy Hill, you'll find what's known as the interpreter. It's the information panel that helps you make sense of the landscape around you. From here, you're standing on the line of the Antonine wall, with the remains of a Roman fort and fortlet hidden in the ground beneath your feet. The panel points out where the ditch was cut through solid rock, where the ramparts once stood, and how the Romans used this high ground to watch over the Kelvin Valley. We've just got onto the Forth Clyde Canal. Walk alongside now for approximately 18 kilometres. Takes us straight into Falkirk. We'll pick up the car. I'll quickly show you around. Nice and peaceful, although there is a few walkers around. Just ahead is Wyndford, a small cluster of houses and farm buildings that sits right on the line of the John Muir Way. It's a quiet little spot, but it's been a crossing point for centuries, sitting between the Campsies to the north and the Kelvin Valley stretching out behind you. From here, the trail settles into an easy rhythm as it joins the Forth Clyde Canal, and Wyndford becomes that last touch of countryside before the path straightens out and leads you towards Falkirk and the Wheel. Along this part of the canal, you pass one of the old lochs that's been here since the days when the Forth Clyde was a busy industrial route. Barges once moved through here carrying coal, timber, grain, all the things that kept central Scotland working. Today it's a quiet reminder of that past. The stonework, the old iron fittings, the stillness of the water, it all hints at a time when this canal was a lifeline between the east and the west. As you walk by, it adds a bit of history and character to what is now one of the calmest stretches of the John Muir Way. After leaving the canal behind, the John Muir Way brings you into Rough Castle, one of the most atmospheric places on the entire Antonine wall. It doesn't look like much at first glance, but just gentle shapes in the ground. But once you slow down, you start to see the outlines of a whole Roman fort spread out around you. This was one of the strongest positions on the frontier, sitting high above the valley with deep defensive ditches, ramparts, and the famous Lilia pits, small hidden traps the Romans dug in front of the walls. You can still trace them today, almost 2,000 years later. What makes Rough Castle special is the quiet. There are no big reconstructed buildings, no crowds, just a landscape holding the memory of what once stood here. As you walk through it, you get this sense of stepping into the past for a moment, imagining the soldiers who lived here, watching the horizon, guarding the edge of the empire. It's a peaceful place now, but the history is right under your feet. It adds a real depth to this part of the John Muir Way. As you come round this bend, you get your first glimpse of the Falkirk Wheel. It never really sneaks up on you. It rises out of the landscape like something futuristic, completely different from anything else on the John Muir Way. The wheel opened in 2002 as part of a huge project to reconnect Scotland's canals after decades of decline. Instead of rebuilding a long flight of old locks, engineers designed this incredible rotating lift to carry boats between the Forth and Clyde Canal and the Union Canal. The Battle of Falkirk was fought on the 22nd of July 1298 during the First War of Scottish Independence. William Wallace faced the army of King Edward I here, and although the Scots held firm in their sheltering formations, the English longbowmen broke their lines. It ended in a clear English victory, and it marked the moment William Wallace stepped back as Guardian of Scotland. After the wheel, the canal gives you this long, gentle run where the world feels like it's slowing down around you. The water smooths out, the trees close in a little, and the whole day starts to settle into a quieter rhythm. It's a lovely way to end a section, just walking, letting the light change, letting the miles drift by without thinking too much about them. This is where I'll leave today's journey. We'll carry on from this spot next time as the John Muir Way turns east again.